All right, Knicks Bros TV, welcome to a very new and special session. Obviously, you've seen my brother and I very separate, away from each other, but in this session, since we've had a little family reunion, we get to be side by side and speak about our favorite New York teams. I'm going to go ahead and my brother get started, introduce himself, and we'll kind of go from there.
Thank you for watching Knicks Bros TV. Finally, me and my brother are united again. It's been a long time, about a couple of years, right?
Year and a half.
Year and a half, yeah. It's been about a year and a half since me and my brother been together in the same room. We took advantage of this time, and hopefully you guys are gonna like the video, and we go from there.
Our careers have separated us, but Knicks Bros TV has brought us together.
Absolutely.
Now, we'll go ahead and get started. We're really going to talk about some of the Jets moves that they've done this offseason. We'll talk a little bit about the Giants move they've done this offseason and kind of get into the Knickerbockers and see what they're going to do this offseason. I brought something interesting to my brother, and I talked about the two AFC Championship teams that the New York Jets had, where we obviously lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe that was the last AFC title.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, it's amazing how we've regressed from that year, because if you look at the Jets that year, we were only one quarterback, one running back away. And then what do we end up doing with John Idzik? We ended up not signing Darrelle Revis, getting rid of Crow, kind of backtracking in our defense. And John Idzik, all he did was save money. The best thing that John Idzik could have done for Mike Maccagnan was what he did, is save all that money. And Mike Maccagnan turned around the faults of the Jets in literally 1 week. If you think about it, we had LaDainian Tomlinson as a running back that year, and he was going to retire if he didn't win a Super Bowl. In that case, he didn't. So, Santonio Holmes, we were kind of iffy about him because of how he acted on the field and off the field. So, if you think about it, the two vacant spots that the New York Jets had were the running back position and the wide receiver core, and then Mark Sanchez was definitely questionable the next year after that. So if you think about it, it looks like it's a lot, but if you would have brought in a veteran quarterback at that time and were able to maybe do what we did this year and bring in maybe Brandon Marshall type of guy, or go out there and try to get a good running back, we could have been back where we are, but obviously we regressed. What do you think about that?
Well, you know what? I'm not a Jets guy, as you know. I'm the Giants guy, but as I look at it, yeah, you were right. You guys are back to where you were like 2 or 3 years ago. So you're back at that point. And now again, what exactly you're missing is a good quarterback, and maybe a solid running back. Yep. Because right now you've got a decent receiving core, yep, and then you have a great defense. I envy your defense. I wish my Giants would have done anything similar to that. But love what you have on your defense. Love what you have on your offense, minus your quarterback. I think if you put a quarterback together, if you bring somebody on, that you can count on, this team can go really far, in the playoffs. I know you guys got Fitzgerald in the Fitzpatrick in the trade.
That's the question. Who's going to be a quarterback?
Exactly.
Are we going to rely on Geno Smith, Fitzpatrick, or are we going to actually go out there and try to trade some sort of a draft pick to be able to get maybe a Phillip Rivers?
Well, either one of them is just a patchwork. Is not a solution for the Jets right now. The Jets need to have a solid quarterback, and with this offense and the defense put together, they can go far if they can bring on that solid quarterback. There are rumors out there that they might be going to draft Mariota. I
don't like that.
At the 6th position. We just have to sit and see. We don't know what they're gonna do with that position, but
I'm willing to.
You are gonna need a franchise quarterback. Mm-hmm.
That's what
I don't know. You might want to wait for next year.
That's exactly what I want to do.
I don't know if you can count on Winston or on Mariota to be that franchise quarterback, but just gotta think about it. If you miss on this opportunity, are you gonna have the same opportunity, same position, or a better position in the draft next year to have another quarterback or not?
Either way, I'm happy with the new regime of the New York Jets. I think we're heading the right way.
Absolutely.
Mike Maccagnan has proved himself. Now it comes down to Todd Bowles being able to prove himself, but obviously we can't talk on that until the season starts. Yep. Jumping right across the street to the New York Giants, it's been a very quiet free agency for the Giants. What is your expectation from the Giants, and how do you feel about how
my expectation was, listen, after 2-3 years of losing, not making it to playoffs, getting embarrassed, the Jerry Rice being on a hot seat, Tom Coughlin being on a hot seat, that they're going to come out firing and they're going to come out get some good players, get some impactful players that will impact this team right away. Mm-hmm. But what did they do? They come out and they got some backup linebackers and a backup offensive guards and a backup just added to their depth. You know, yes, they got the Harris from Dallas, which helps them on the special teams. Yes, they got Shane Vereen, which is a solid, third down running back, and is a good, running back, a good catching running back out of the backfield. But that is not going to get you into the playoffs and into the championship. You are in a division with Dallas Cowboys that they were good last year.
Yeah, that's a tough division.
You're in a division with Eagles they're going to be up there with you guys, and they're going to be better. You're in a division, I don't know, I really haven't followed with what the Redskins did, but they still, might be good or still, you have to be that number one. You got to win your division. You can't count on a wild card. And with the moves that the Giants did, I don't think there is much of an improvement has been done. I mean, listen, without injuries, with Victor Cruz coming back healthy and 100%, I think the Giants might have one of the best offenses. Victor Cruz.
So it's going to be a high-scoring offense.
Exactly. Victor Cruz.
What's his name?
Oh, my God.
The catch.
Yeah, number 13.
Beckham.
Beckham Jr. Exactly. Number 13, Beckham Jr. And you have Randall, and you have, all those different, tight ends. Yeah. I think you're going to have a high-scoring offense. Yep. And hopefully if they solidify that offensive line, your offense is going to be fine. But what about
Here's the question.
What about your defense? The Giants won championship based on their front four. Yep. The championship against Brady. What was against Brady, against Romo, against Favre, Rodgers? What was the key to winning those games? The pressure that the front four put on the quarterback, and everybody else dropped back in cover.
Let me ask you this, before you go any further. Just as big of a question the Giants' defense is so is Eli Manning. Now, you brought up something interesting yesterday, is Eli Manning's contract situation. Break that down to us and how the Giants are now willing to re-sign him.
Well, the Giants were looking at the contract that was given to the Pittsburgh
Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben Roethlisberger. 5 years, $99 million deal.
Huge deal.
Huge deal for 5 years.
And they've had the similar careers too, Eli and Ben Roethlisberger.
Now, Eli Manning looks like he's asking even for more. In my opinion, I don't know if I'm going to give a guy that is coming out of a 2-3 bad seasons another 5-year deal above $100 million.
Is Eli past his prime?
This is the thing.
Ric Flair style.
This is the thing. I can't answer this question until I see him with a solid offensive line.
Did he not have a solid offensive line 2 years ago or 3 years ago when they won the Super Bowl?
They did, and he won the Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl. After that, he hasn't had that solid offensive line.
But Eli's been very inconsistent.
He has been inconsistent. He has been inconsistent, but you cannot blame that solely on him, because if you do not have a good offensive line and you cannot hold the ball for a second or two longer to find your second and third receiver, then you're going to throw interceptions. You're going to do mistakes.
Eli's got all the weapons going into the next year.
The Giants are willing to wait another year and wait for this contract to run out, if they have to, just to see if Eli is going to improve, especially this year. So if Eli does improve this year, then we can be talking contract. But again, even if Eli improves, I don't know about a 5-year contract, $100+ million. This is just too much of a commitment to a guy that has not been consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, I don't know.
Here's the thing: it's been a tragic year for New York sports overall. It's been just a bad couple of 2 years.
Exception.
The Rangers and Islanders.
The Rangers and Islanders, and Rangers been on fire.
They're actually
on track to win the Presidency Cup.
The best thing that I appreciate about the whole hockey experience this year is we're getting the whole rivalry between the Islanders and Rangers back. That's something we hadn't had in this town. No matter how you try to make the Jets and Giants a rivalry, it's not going to become one. Two, the Mets and the Yankees, no matter how hard you try, it's just not going to become a rivalry. But the Islanders and Rangers have a huge history amongst each other. But yeah, that's the one exception. Now, talking about a really dreadful team to watch this year, it's going to be the New York Knicks, the team that has brought my brother and I together to make this channel. It's been an awful season, but the fans have stuck with us. And, what I really appreciate about New York fans is, we're not always about winning. We're all about evaluating players. We appreciate the game of basketball as a New York sports fandom, I should say. But it's been very dreadful watching the season this year. And
it's been so bad that Derek Fisher filed for divorce. This is how bad it has been.
Yeah, it has. I've thought about picking up drinking. I know my brother has tried to throw himself down for a couple of buildings. I've convinced him otherwise. But here's the thing, yeah, sure, everything's sad on this side, but we're looking at a very, rich team going to the off season. There's a lot of names that have been brought up. The question is, should we pursue Kevin Love? Should we go after, Rajon Rondo? What should the New York Knicks' next move be? And my number one biggest thing right now is I don't like the way Rondo's playing. I don't want to invest into him.
At least not a max contract.
Sure.
See, the rumor has it that Kevin Love will not re-sign with Cavaliers, especially the way he has been played, the way that he doesn't really fit the system, the way he's been benched on the fourth quarters. Right. He is not going to fit that system, and he's not going to stay there. So he becomes a free agent. Who's after him? New York Knicks, Lakers. Now, we could go after him, give him a max contract, which I'm fine with that. He is a very fine player. He can post up. He can shoot threes. He is a very good player. If we could get him and Rondo agrees to anything less than a max contract, then that would be a good combination to have.
Yep.
But I do not like us to go give him Rondo a max contract and lose on somebody like Kevin Love.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And we also got to keep in mind that we got to have the thinking behind this for Phil Jackson is to have enough money left over for 2016 when the cap goes from $66 million to about $88 to $90 million.
There is no patience level for us to wait in 2016. Here's the thing: we have to make the playoffs.
I understand. We have to make the playoffs, and we have to get some good players for 2016 when somebody like KD becomes available and we have the money. And when KD looks at the roster of...
But KD's been very unhealthy. I'm not going to sit there and bank on him.
I know, but that's fun. But look at this. When KD looks at a roster with Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Love, possibly Rajon Rondo or Goran Dragic, and then what is KD going to be thinking? That I am going to win multiple championships with these players all together.
I think in 2015, what we really need to focus on is rather than getting those big name guys like Kevin Love, which I don't mind getting Kevin Love as long as it's not Rajon Rondo, is look at guys like Greg Monroe. Try to,
No, I agree. I mean, definitely. I mean, Greg Monroe, I agree. I mean, I love these young players.
I want to spend smart.
Absolutely. Greg Monroe is like 25, 26 years old. He can rebound. He's a good player. We got Butler from Chicago.
Yep.
I love that guy. I love the way he plays. I love his
Chicago's
intensity.
Not gonna give him up.
Yeah, he's not
the way Rose is playing.
He's not going to give him up, but we can always try.
Yeah.
To pursue him to come to even though he's a restricted agent, whatever we offer him, Chicago can match. But listen, we got to build something on 2015 to be able to get better players in 2016. But like you said, 2015 has to be a year that we're going to go playoffs and we're going to go deep into the playoffs. Now, if that's a combination of free agents, draft picks that we're going to have, or if Phil is going to trade that draft pick because there has been noises out there that Phil might think about drafting that first round draft pick and get a already established player
like Cousins or whatever.
I don't know exactly. Yeah, bring a already established player into the team. And if that's the case, be it. But if he's going to stick with that, first round pick, he has lots of choices. He got the kid from Jahlil Okafor. He got the other kid Towns. He has the point guard from Indiana that he made that comment about and he really liked and he got fined for it.
You better get him now.
You know, so he has lots of choice as a first-round draft pick, and he's not only Okafor. You know, so that combination of draft pick and free agency, plus a healthy Melo, and possibly, you know, hopefully a Galloway, and also I'm hearing that he might be thinking about signing Bargnani to a one-year deal. You know, at a good price, of course. You know, I think would be a good, solid team in 2015, just depending on what kind of moves and what kind of players he's going to bring on. You know, and if those players that he's going to bring on is going to fit the system that Fisher is going to implement, which is of course a triangle. So I'm assuming whatever he's going to bring on are going to be the players that are ready to play that system.
Well, here's the thing. That's one thing. And the other thing is, I know I get overly criticized about saying this all the time, is Carmelo Anthony. I know he hasn't been healthy. I know he's a heck of a player. I know all the etc. But he needs to really be on top of his game next year. Whether if it's him, his playing time, the way he takes care of his body, and the way he leads the team. Those are things that he's been questioned on this entire year.
Well, this is the thing. I always said this, and I say it again. Carmelo Anthony is not a leader. That's why Phil Jackson needs to bring a good player on board that is actually a leader. You know, and Carmelo Anthony can be next to him. You know what I'm saying? So we need that leader. We need that leadership. Now, wherever he's gonna get that from, maybe he's gonna sign all the players that we named, plus some veteran players just as backups, as bringing that leadership into the clubhouse. You know, just think about the difference between a couple of years ago that we won 54 games. We almost had the same players before all these trades happened, but the difference was we had
Jason Kidd,
Rasheed Wallace, Chandler.
That's all the veterans.
Exactly, that were giving that leadership in the locker room. And when we lost that leadership, then we start losing games and becoming what it is right now.
Well, Unexposed TV guys, your followers, I want to thank all of our subscribers. You guys are the reason why we make this happen on a day-to-day basis. Look out for more videos on the Mets and the Yankees when we start the season off. The other thing is, I'm going to put out a little trailer on a little segment that my brother and I shot. It's a parody based on a losing season. It's about a guy that's been, driven crazy because of the New York Knicks. A little funny video. Hope you guys like it. We try to kind of change things up a little bit. But overall, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for leaving the comments and subscribing. Share these videos. We really enjoy doing them. We really want you guys to be a part of it. So,
yeah, thank you so much again. Like my brother said, thank you all our subscribers. Thank you for being loyal, watching our videos. Thank you for the comments. The comments are great. We love to have that interaction with our fans and get involved. Please, share our videos. Refer our videos to your friends and family members and anybody that you know.
Turn this lame setup into a studio.
Please.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
The gauge out, 96 ways I made out. Montana way to good.